What is going on, guys? Today I will be inking my Nagatoro anime sketch, and I have a couple of pens that I'm going to be using, and I will be bringing some other pens later on in the video. But to start, I have my Kuretake brush pen. This one is really awesome pen. Really gives you that nice, clean anime inking. So it has two sides. One is more thick, and this is more of a softer brush. And then this is just this one is a little bit harder and more fine. These pens are also really strong, so sometimes you have to be gentle on the paper because it might rip through. Especially this one. I got this other pen here, manga flexible fine. This one is really hard, okay, but it's also a nice coverage it gives you. So let me see if I can show you the difference here. So let me move this over to the side here. If you can see this here, so it can be pretty clean line, and also you can make it a little bit thicker as well, depending on the angle. Okay, and it's really sturdy, so I can really be, so you can get as fine as that. See, now this one here, it's either really thick or really fine, and this one is a looser. It's a kind of a softer brush, I should say. And see how thick that is? So even if I use a tip, it gets thick, and it's hard to kind of keep it like a really clean straight line. So this is good for like the hair, really good. Like you can get really big areas and it will look really nice, on the hair. And let me show an example of where I use this this brush pen, specifically the Kuretake pen, when I was doing the Attack on Titan drawing here. And I used it here in this, not in these really tight areas. I think I used this one on the thinner lines, but in the thick area I used this Kuretake brush pen. And I really liked the way it turned out. Now for the white part, I used the jelly roll. These are nice for the highlights in the eyes and also the highlight in the hair. So one thing to note is when I'm inking, I put like a scrap paper. It's another one of my drawings. I did He-Man. Go check out that video. And I actually I should be moving this drawing out of the way, but it's okay now. So if you have a used paper, kind of cheap, put it underneath, because as you ink, it can soak through, and paper is not cheap. Supplies are not cheap. So that's why I like to protect it. So let me start with, I'm going to use the manga pen, and I'm going to start with, inking the eyes. So first I'll do kind of a thin outline. So I'll use these water-based pigment marker here, just to kind of do the smaller areas. I really wish I had my other pens here, but actually I can use this unit pen. This one is a really thick one though, so hopefully, let me start with the thicker area first actually. Yeah, this is going to be too thick for the outline. So for the inside it's okay. This is a 0.2, it's a little bit thicker too, but we'll see. Let me use it on the teeth first. When you go in those long straight lines, try to be a little bit fast, but not too fast, because you don't want any once you make a stop, then it might mess up the look. Like here, I can make a stop because it's curving. If I was really good, maybe I can just keep going all the way, but I'm just kind of scared to take it all the way. As you can see so far, I think it's looking pretty clean and pretty nice. I may want to bring this up just a little bit. Okay, so now I got my microns here, 0.05, and this one's 0.2. I wish it was 0.1, a little bit thinner, but I think I can make this work. And I'm going to refine the eyes a little bit. I'm just going to make this kind of curve up a little bit more. Just slightly. You may not be able to tell, but since this is a little bit thinner, you know, it won't get too, I don't want it to get too thick, but I just want to make it a little bit rounder, so to speak, at the top. Okay, I think that's good enough. I don't want to go too much here, otherwise I might get too thick. I might have already made it a little bit too thick, but that's okay. And actually in the drawing, this side is a little bit thinner than that side on the edge. I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but okay. So now I can continue with the outline here. And as I was inking, I made an adjustment here on the hair, so I can actually finish the corner of this eye a little bit more. Okay, so I got most of the outline here inked, and I'm going to start with doing the hair. I have two brush pens, so I'm going to use my brush pens, the finer tip brush pen for the bottom edges here because they're a little bit sharper, and then the wider one, the more flexible brush pen as I move up. The very top has like a bluish gray, and then it blends with the black, so I'm going to use these two Parku markers as I move up a little bit higher, so I can blend it at the right at the tip. See, and this one is, I can use an edge, you know what I mean, here, so it keeps it sharp, and I can do single strands as well of this. And then after I kind of outline it a little bit with the brush pen, then I'll go in and I'll use the thicker part of the brush tip. I may not use the other flexible, I may not use this one because I forgot that I'm going to be blending in the blue at the top with black, so I'm going to use a different marker that can blend. So I'm just going to do the tips right now. start using the other black now. So now I'm going to take this black, and this is the blue at the top. So let me start doing the blue here at the very top. Okay, so I couldn't find my blender, so I'm using a gray right here, and it seems to be kind of blending it a little bit because it's giving a little bit of darker tone here, but not as dark as the black. So I think it's doing okay. So we'll just try that. Yeah, now it seems to be blending a little bit better, and I also added another layer of the blue. So let me continue with that here. Here's the hair. We'll see what it looks like when it dries, if it gets any better. And then I'm going to add some shadow, gray shadow next, here in the eye, face, hands, all the other areas. Okay, so shading is complete, and I used this Tombow water-based brush pen. Very good price for these set of pens, and that's what I used for the gray shades. I had a few different shades, some lighter, some darker. Time to use the Jelly Roll white gel pen for the highlights in the hair. I've also decided to color the eyes and the nails. That way I can use the Jelly Roll on top and you can see the reflection nicely. Put some of the white highlights on there. I noticed one thing that I haven't experienced before was I used a bunch of different markers on the hair, and if you notice, you may or may not be able to see, but some of the white is turning brown when I put it on here. So what I think I'm going to do is I might let it dry for a little bit longer and put another layer of white on there. I've decided to put some color in the eye as well. So let's try doing that here. So I'm going to start underneath the shadow. And then I'll try to put some of it there to kind of blend, and we'll see what it comes out like. Now remember, the marker that I'm using here bleeds, so you want to leave yourself a little bit of gap. I have a black border, pretty dark border around the edges of the eye, so I'm not too worried about that part, but at the bottom I have a gap, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to go all the way down. Let it bleed out and see how far down it comes. And you can see it looks like it's going down a little bit further. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just color the whole eye area to get that brown all the way in there. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll put some color on the nails, and we'll let that dry, and then I can add some more highlight. This one I'm really going to be careful with because I'm sure this is going to bleed, and if this goes over, it's going to go on the shirt, on areas that definitely it's going to be hard to fix. So first thing I'm going to do is just kind of put some spacing in there, see how it bleeds out, and then I'll add small little dots on the edges. Even if you're putting dots, you still gotta be careful. And make it a quick tap. Okay, I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna leave it like that. And we'll let this dry for a little bit, and I'll try to put some more highlights on there with the jelly roll. I'm probably gonna use the 10 because that one is more prominent. Like in the eyes, there's some reflection here. So here is what it looks like after adding the highlights, some color in the eyes, and some highlights in the nail. So I hope you found this video helpful. You know, if you're looking to ink or just take your drawings to the next level, your sketches to the next level, I think this is a really good way to do it. I have links to all the supplies that I use in this video, and I really hope you found this useful. So please comment, let me know what you think, like and share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.